January 5, 2026. In a Manhattan courtroom bustling with international attention, an astonishing legal drama played out. Once Venezuela's most powerful leader, Nicolas Maduro Moros stood in front of a U.S. federal judge, not as a head of state, but as a criminal defendant. For context, this appearance came only days after Maduro and his wife Celia Flores were captured by U.S. forces during a surprise operation in Caracas, Venezuela, a move that ignited global controversy with many of these federal judges and official for context. As cameras flashed and journalists gathered, Maduro entered the courtroom shackled at the ankles, wearing a prison jumpsuit, a stark image that would reverberate across news feeds worldwide. He sat beside his wife Celia Flores, who also appeared in custody and bore visible injuries reportedly sustained during the operation. Then came the moment that captured global attention. "I am innocent. I am not guilty. I am still the president of my country." Maduro pleaded not guilty through an interpreter to multiple federal charges, including alleged narco-terrorism, cocaine importation conspiracy, and weapons offenses. Charges that could carry life in prison if convicted. What makes this case so historic isn't just the charges, it's how Maduro got here. In the early hours of January 3, 2026, U.S. forces executed a military operation inside Venezuela that resulted in Maduro's capture and subsequent transport to the United States, a move that left the world reeling. It was a dramatic and controversial operation, one that some call a strategic strike against drug trafficking and others condemn as a breach of international law. Nations worldwide have been forced to respond. The fallout hasn't been confined to a courtroom. In Venezuela's capital, Vice President Delcy Rodriguez was sworn in as interim president, claiming legitimacy while rejecting the U.S. operation as illegitimate. At the United Nations, an emergency session was convened to debate whether the U.S. action violated international law, with critics arguing the operation was sovereignty violating, while supporters claim it was justified under anti-drug trafficking goals. World leaders from Latin America, Europe, and global institutions have expressed deep concern, some calling it an act of aggression, others viewing it as a decisive blow against drug cartels and corruption. This moment has set off diplomatic firestorms from Mexico to Russia. Maduro didn't just deny the charges, he framed them as an act of political aggression. In court, he repeatedly referred to himself as a prisoner of war who was kidnapped from his home, placing his legal defense not only on innocence, but on sovereign immunity and alleged breaches in international law. His lawyer argued that his removal and prosecution violate legal protections afforded to world leaders, a line of defense that, if pursued, could shape international legal precedent. Let's break down the key accusations. Narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices. Prosecutors claim these charges stem from decades-long activities involving Maduro and senior Venezuelan officials accused of facilitating cocaine trafficking into the U.S. and engaging in systemic corruption. This indictment traces back to investigations started in 2020 and involves other senior figures linked to similar cases. People often ask, why does this matter? It matters for several reasons. 1. Historic legal precedent. Never before has a prominent sitting foreign head of state been arraigned in a U.S. court on such dramatic charges. 2. U.S.-Venezuela relations redefined. This could mark a profound shift in how the U.S. engages with regimes accused of corruption and illicit activity, potentially bypassing traditional diplomatic routes. 3. Geopolitical impact. U.S. military involvement inside a sovereign nation and the international reactions it sparked may influence policies in the Middle East, Latin America, and beyond. The courtroom appearances have just begun. A follow-up hearing has been scheduled for March 17, 2026, which will likely dive deeper into legal arguments, especially regarding Maduro's claims of wrongful capture and sovereign immunity. Meanwhile, Venezuela remains politically unstable, and many analysts predict this case will play out for years, shaping the future of international law and U.S. foreign policy. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for deep dives into world events, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Comment below. What do you think about Maduro's arrest, the U.S. military operation, and its consequences for global stability? Let's discuss.